Okay, we are from group LAX 204. Today we're gonna review our third movie, which is
Titanic.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we have watched our third movie, that is Titanic, and we did enjoy watch it. So, what is your opinion about?
So I think the Titanic movie is really interesting, and later on I'll tell a little bit more about the plot of the story.
So, did you guys know about the story behind making of Titanic? Do you guys know?
I'm not sure about it.
Okay, so Titanic is a 1997 American epic romantic disaster film directed, written, co-directed, co-produced, co-edited by James Cameron. So James Cameron did a lot of effort to make this movie success. Okay. So it actually this movie is about the sinking of the RMS Titanic, which started with Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet as members of different social classes who fall in love aboard the ship. Okay, so during the journey, they fall in love, and something happened between them. And then Cameron's inspiration for the film came from his fascination with shipwrecks. Actually, he felt a love story with the human loss would be essential to convey the emotional message of the disaster. So the production began in 1995 when Cameron shot footage of the actual Titanic wreck. Then the modern scenes of the research vessel was shot on board the academic Mstislav Kaldis, which Cameron had used as a base when filming the wreck. Then scale models, computer-generated imagery, and a reconstruction of the Titanic built at Playas de Rosarito in Baja, California, were used to recreate the sinking. So the conclusion is the movie is shoot in the studio. Right? So the film was partially funded by Paramount Pictures and 20th Century Fox. And for your information, it was the most expensive film made at that time, because the estimate budget of the movie is 200 million.
200.
Yes. So it was expensive. So how about the synopsis?
Okay, I think the most interesting part is in the plot, right? Yes, because this Titanic movie is a fictional romantic tale of a rich girl and a poor boy who met on a ill-fated voyage of the unsinkable ship. I mean, the Titanic, which is at that time the ship of the dreams, is also known as unsinkable, and it was unsinkable on its departure on departure on April 10 April 1912. And on its epic journey, a poor artist named Jack Dawson and a rich girl named Rose, the witness daughter, fall in love. Until one night, their fairy tale love for one another turned into a struggle for survival on a ship about to founder to the bottom of the North Atlantic. Okay. In the movie also, Rose left her fiancé, which is acted by Caledon Hockley, for his poor artist. But when the Titanic collides with the iceberg on 14 April 1912, and then the ship sinks on April 15, 1912 at 2:30 in the morning. Jack dies and Rose survives. And 84 years later, Rose tells the story about her life on Titanic to her granddaughter and friends on the Caldish, and explain the first sight of Jack that falls into love and into a fight for survival. Okay. When Rose gets saved by one lifeboat that comes back, they take her to the Carpathia with the seat saved with Rose and the other 700 people that has been saved in the lifeboat. The Carpathia immigration officer asks Rose what her name is, and she loves Jack so much. She says her name is not Rose Dewitt Bukater, but her name is Rose Dawson. But actually, they are not married yet.
Yes.
Yeah, but because of the love, she sees Carl looking for her, but he doesn't see her, and they never ended up together. Her mom, Carl, and friends of the family has no choice but to think that she died on the Titanic. But in the crash of 1929, Carl is married, but then he put a pistol in his mouth and committed suicide. I mean, Carl is the bad fiancé.
Antagonist.
Yeah, the antagonist in the movie. So Rose is an actress in the 20s, and now 84 years later, Rose Calvert is 100 years old and tells her granddaughter Lizzie Calvert, Brock Lovett, Lewis Bodin, Bobby Bell, Anatoly Mikhailovich, the whole story from departure until the death of Titanic on its first and last voyage. And then to Rose, all Titanic and the real love of her life. Jack Dawson is all an existence inside her memory. And Titanic is to rest in peace at the bottom of North Atlantic from 1912 until the end of the time.
Next, we move to the casting in this movie. Okay, the main role in this movie is Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. Before they get selected as the main role, as the main actor, there are a few actors that has been considered for the character Jack Davidson. There is Matthew McConaughey, Chris O'Donnell, and Stephen Dorff. Okay, for the character Rose David Bukater, there are Gwyneth Paltrow, Claire Danes, and Gabriel Anwar. Okay, in this movie, Leonardo DiCaprio act as Jack Dawson, which is a poor man from Chippewa Falls, where he win a ticket in a poker game to get travel in the Titanic as a third class passengers. Okay. Next is Kate Winslet, which is Rose David Bukater. She is a 70 years old girl who is forced into a engagement for a 30 years old, which is Carl Hockley. So she, when she get married, get engaged. Why she get engaged with Carl Hockley is for he and her mother can maintain their high class status after her father died and had left many debt. Okay, next, Billy Zay, which is Kalhoki. Caledon Nathan Kalhoki, which is he is a Rose fiance. He is very arrogant and snobbish. The next character is Franz Fisher. As a Ruth David character, which is Rose mother, who made her daughter get engaged to Carl to maintain her family status.
Okay, we move on to the moral of the story of this Titanic movie. So the first person who's gonna contribute the moral story.
Yourself, please.
Okay, myself. Put myself first. Okay, the first moral story of this Titanic movie is don't be selfish. Which is in this movie, Rose David Bukater, his mother, willing to sacrifice her daughter by set a marriage to the arrogant and snobbish wealthy person. I don't know. By that, because that her daughter did not willing to marry with that guy, but her mother still want her to marry with that guy because what? The family bankrupt, right? Bankrupt. Okay, yeah. Okay, the second one is don't be overconfident. Because I said that because they say look at me. Because they said the ship won't sink, but eventually it sank. So don't be overconfident. What? Okay, that's all I think. Okay, dari sini Ustaz.
Okay, for me, I think trust yourself. In other words, you already know and you will fly. Just like you trust your instinct and follow your intuition, and you can make decisions that feel very right. For me, you already know what you have to do. You already know what you feel right in your heart and gut. Time to listen and follow through your ideas and take action. For me, trust yourself and make a decision.
Okay, the second one.
Second one,
Yeah, you know that.
I don't.
Okay.
Move on, please.
Okay, so for me, the moral or lesson that we can get from the Titanic is about money means nothing. Even you got really a lot of money, such as that John Jacob Astor as another wealthy man were thrown away from the lifeboat because the rule was women and children first. So even they got really a lot of money, so they can't go to the lifeboat first. And the second moral that I learned from this movie is about different class. Just because some of them at the higher class doesn't mean their life is more happier than the lower class.
That's all?
That's all.
Okay.
For me, the moral value is about dying with honor by doing the right thing. Everyone have their own choice, so they have a way to do the right thing, and then by being courageous and loving. But most of all is about human determination and the strength of the heart. I think that's all.
Okay, that's all.
So hi, right now we're going to talk about the critics and our views on this movie, Titanic. So I'm going to start with the director, James Cameron. I'm actually quite a fan of him, and he's produced and directed so many blockbuster movies and high-ranking and top-grossing movies. And for this movie, which is Titanic, Cameron said that the visual effects that he has put in has only one purpose, which is to make the audience feel and see what it is like to be in the RMS Titanic at that particular time when it sank. And it had around some 500 visual effects, shots that are skillfully weaved into the fabric of the story. And this includes star fields for the night sky, and wire removal for flying objects and falling people, simple two-layer composites, and about 160 heavy-duty shots. There were also a number of digital studios that played roles in the making of this movie, and this includes the ILM, VIFX, and Cinesite. And as for James Cameron, he was actually very taken aback, and he's very immersed into the RMS Titanic and its sinking, and he has done years of researching this, the history behind the whole incident, and he had conferred with scholars and historians including Don Lynch and Ken Marshall, authors of the Titanic and Illustrated History, and poured through other records. And actually, James Cameron was also involved in, if I'm not mistaken, one of the documentaries done for Discovery Channels. He was like one of the panels discussing about the whole structure of the ship, and well, he knows a lot about the ship, so has a very vast Titanic.
But the ship,
he knows a lot. He has a vast knowledge about the ship and its structure, its architecture as well. So I'm very, very, very what do you call that? Taken aback by James Cameron. That's my critique.
So overall, for this film made in that time, I think that their props and their costume are very well made and very. You can see that they have a quite high budget for it, and everything looks very real and well suited at that time of the settings, which is around 1912, and the movie was released was shot around 1996. So at that time, for their technology, I think that their equipment and their visual effects are actually really good, and you can see, for example, all the chandeliers in the ballroom, all of their clothes, where Rose and Jack was actually dancing in the ballroom.
They dance like in this place where they have, the lower status people.
Yeah.
It's like a bar or something.
So overall, all of their preparation and all of their budget is actually very good. And just one thing about the movie, you get a lot of debate about how the movie ended, which is the plank on the ocean can actually fit 2 people.
Oh my god.
But then they were having a great debate about it. So they were saying that Jack actually can avoid not dying. But then they actually tested this theory. So James Cameron actually went into the set of Mythbuster to test out if it's actually possible. Then fun fact, it is actually possible that Jack actually can actually survive. But then what the James Cameron gave a final comment, which is the story said that Jack has to die, so he died.
so in the story that Jack has to die, not Jack has to sacrifice for Rose.
So even though in real life it's possible that they share the plank, but then the story is still a story. So he has to die for that part, for the story to be complete. But it's a great debate on the internet about Jack can
being too melodramatic.
Rose are actually being selfish, not sharing the plan with Jack. So
How about the other one?
sorry?
Like she is actually from a very well off family. Selfish. But let's say if like both of them are on the plank and like how to say, that means the both of them, never mind. sorry just thinking out.
For me,
in this movie, I love the song, which is "My Heart Will Go On," that sing by Celine Dion. I think this movie become hit because one of the reason because of this song. And right, when for me, when I heard this song, it made me feel like
So in love.
right. Walau even if even I'm not in love, but still
Can feel it.
yes, can feel it. And as for you guys know, this movie become both of his movies. They earn 302 million in North America, and also and 1,526,700,000 in other countries.
Overall,
Um,
2 billion.
yes, it's about 2 million.
2 billion.
2 billion.
Such a big number. So I guess the three of us kind of like agree that the song, the setting, the visual effects all kind of contributed to the emotional effect of the movie. Even though it's like a historical, it's not so much, but because of the plot and the love story and everything, I mean, it becomes such an emotional movie.
And it actually became a classic.
Yeah,
It's a
classic.
very classic. It's like everyone know and watch
So
Titanic.
everyone who watched the movie, they cry at the end.
I did cry actually.
Seriously.
Yeah, because because of that part.
So, any others?
Actually, just now I was going to say that if they have this plank, right? With the debate just now, I was thinking if they can share this plank, would both of them be on top of the plank, or one would be, just like that with their
No.
arms like that?
Because the main reason that Jack died is because of hypothermia.
He's kind of like half submerged.
Half submerged in the water with
Underwater.
wet clothes,
Yeah.
and the main reason he died is because his body temperature actually dropped below, and he actually lost all his motor responses, so he can't actually move. So if they were able to both of
Avoid
them,
contact with water, then they will
yeah,
survive.
if they both stayed up on the plank, they actually tested it on Mythbusters.
And that was actually possible.
Actually possible.
safe.
Actually possible that when the rescue came, they might survive. Both of
That's
them.
why Rose looks so selfish in that movie.
But Rose is kind of like chubby and Jack is kind of skinny. Well, it's not related, but anyhow, maybe it is possible that the both of them could stay on top of the plank and avoid contact with water and avoid hypothermia, and they could actually stay alive and get married,
Happily ever
have a
after.
happy ever after. And well, yeah.
But too bad that's the story. That's how
It was
James
supposed to
Cameron
be ill-fated.
visualized. Yeah, that's
He
how
want
James
Jack to
Cameron
die in
wanted
the
it to
movie.
be.
He wants it like a bit of a twist at the end.
That's all from us for our third movie review, Titanic. My name is Jinzi.
My name is Fakrul.
My name is Shika. I'm Shabika Rosie. My name is Zaki. My name is Nasraya. I'm Farah. I'm Nadia. And I'm Tuan Rain.
And I'm Raja. Thank you.
Bye.